Hey besties. Okay, so I really love doing townie makeovers like a lot. And I definitely have like an entire series where I like make over townies by worlds. And I kind of didn't have the time to do another entire world, but I really wanted to play around with townies a bit more this week. And so I wanted to do like a what if kind of series where like either it's like Sims 2 lore or like Sims 4 lore, and like the family's background sort of plays a little bit of a role in like the what if Sims. So we're starting out with a goth Lothario baby, and this is definitely like shout out to The Sims 2 because like technically Bella was seen with Don Lothario before she got abducted. I think she rejects him, so technically this like sim would not exist. But like, what if she didn't reject him though? What if this is like a secret goth Lothario baby, and I wanted to see like what that sim would look like. And of course I'm using like my townie makeover sims because yeah. Yeah, no. And I actually really thought this sim looked really nice. She looks a lot like the new version of Bella, but also a lot like Don Lothario. And so I styled her more like a goth than a Lothario. But she's so pretty. Like I like her a lot actually. And I imagine her personality is a bit of like Don and Bella together. And so she's a teen, I think I go like half and half. But her looks wise, like she has her father's eye color and hair color, but obviously both Don and Bella have black hair, so it kind of doesn't count. But I think she has like a lot of Don physically, but like I really, that's why I really wanted to like style her more like Bella. So lots of black, lots of red, and I think it's so funny. I like got really into styling her actually, because I also got really into thinking about like what her life would be like and how she fits in with like this family. And that's why I did it in like the goth family, because Mortimer's still there, her other two kids are there, and then Don's there with this kid. And I think that's fun. I think that's a really interesting thing to think of actually. And I wonder what Mortimer would say. But also, since we're doing like Sims 2 timeline for this, I feel like Mortimer can't say much of anything actually. Because Bella gets abducted and he finds somebody like almost instantly, and then I'm pretty sure like they get engaged and stuff and basically married if you like play through sort of how the Sims team wanted you to play through. So it's like, can you really say anything? Like, you are also technically a cheater at heart, so I don't really feel like he has a leg to stand on really. He surely can't complain about this girl. But I wonder what like her and Cassie's dynamic would be, because like they're around the same age. And also if we're doing Sims 2 actually, that would be so weird. They wouldn't be the same age obviously, but like Don gets married to Cassandra. Like this sort of greatly complicates things actually, and I really did not think about that until just now as I was like saying it out loud, because that's weird. Like she'd be getting engaged and married to, possibly married because sometimes he leaves, sometimes he doesn't, to her sister's dad. Like that's weird. It's really weird. But luckily we're kind of not on like the Sims 2 timeline, and I really thought about this because the Sims 4 itself is like an alternate universe anyway, with like familiar faces, but like the storylines don't really have to make sense fully in like terms of the overarching lore of like all the games, because it's not connected. So I thought this was like a perfect opportunity to do some of these like what if pairings. And like not every sim is like a new combination of sims, but most in this video are. There's one that isn't a new sim, and it's just like, what if their storyline turned out differently? And yeah, I thought that was fun. And aside from just like the black and red color, I really tried to keep her very like preppy and also very fancy, specifically for her formal and party wear. Because I mean, like, she is a goth, you know? They do have a standard to maintain. And I settled on Camilla Lothario because I think that's fun. I did Love Bug and Art Lover because that's like two. Those are like both her parents basically. I feel like Bella likes art and fancy things, but like not materialistically, but just like a wow, look at all those things. And obviously Dawn is a player, so Love Bug. And Camilla and Lothario, I didn't go for a goth because I wanted to differentiate between like the households. I feel like she would have her father's last name, and like Camilla just feels very goth like that feels like a goth name. And then we move on to Johnny, actually. And so this is the sim that I was talking about earlier that isn't like a new sim because he's still the same sim, but like this is his like alternate universe version. Like, what if Nancy didn't like hate him? Because I always headcanon that like Nancy's the issue, like she doesn't like how her son turned out, so she decided to cut him off. But like Jeffrey is more like understanding and he still loves his son and he sees him like secretly and he gives him like money and stuff. Like I feel like that's how that goes. So like, what if Nancy actually never hated him, and what if he like followed in like his brother's footsteps, and if he was like the very annoying rich boy nepo baby that he was technically born to be? Like, I think Nancy would actually be proud of that. And so I tried to dress him in like very like trendy but also like overly snobby looking clothes. Like something that Nancy would be proud of, like a bigger version of Malcolm, because technically Johnny's older than Malcolm, so like that. And I thought it was so weird because like I've never done this before. And I play with Johnny a lot, surprisingly, so like I've never ever changed who he was like as a person, so I always keep him sort of like more alternative, sort of like chill, very casual, very anti-Nancy. And it's so interesting to actually like lean into that and like make something that like Nancy would be proud of. And I even changed his last name because like he never got disowned, so he never had to change his last name. And I gave him a snooty walk too because I thought that was fitting. And then these are like the last two sims of the what ifs. I figured I'd just like focus mainly on Oasis Springs sims because I don't know, they were just really interesting to me at the time. And so I decided, what if Dawn and Katrina were the parents of Dina and Nina? Because I know Katrina is technically supposed to be their mother anyway, in like The Sims 4 at least, but Dawn definitely isn't. So like, what if Nina and Dina were the twins of Dawn and Katrina? And I thought that was interesting, so I tried to keep I kept them like sort of the same. Not really, but kind of. Like, I wanted to make sure that Dina had the blonde hair and Nina had the red hair. Their personalities are a little bit more different because I didn't really want to follow it through completely. I like very, very, very loosely thought about their like Sims 2 personalities, and that Dina's a little more like serious, sort of like gold digger-ish one. And Nina is more just like more romantic, like more multiple partners, you know, like that. And I tried to style them more that way, but then it sort of made Dina look a bit more like sweet-ish. But ultimately I wanted to make her more like Katrina and more like materialistic, or at least how I headcanon Katrina to be. So like she cares about like brands and stuff and just like material things. And I wanted to give her like a little bit of more of Dawn's personality, and I tried to do that with like each of Dawn's kids. Like each of them will be like love bug or romantic or something, or have like a romance aspiration, because I wanted them to sort of have that sort of genetic tie, you know? And because in The Sims 2, Dawn is a romance sim, I feel like the closest thing we can do to that, aside from like mods and stuff, is to give Sims like a romance aspiration. So that becomes like their driving force in life, basically, aside from like their traits. And I could not for the life of me figure out what hair I wanted to give Dina. Like, it took a ridiculous amount of time for me to figure it out. As per usual, for like any Dina makeover, like I never know exactly what I'm gonna do. But I thought it was very interesting because Dina ends up looking a lot like Katrina, actually. Like, I feel like she looks a lot like Katrina with, I think, more of like Don's nose and maybe his like face shape a little. But she looks a lot like Katrina. And I have Katrina, instead of having like the bright red hair, I have her in like a platinum blonde because like she's older and maybe she's like graying, but like she would never ever ever have gray hair as long as she can help it. So like she just dyes it like platinum blonde for a more like stylish, chic sort of look. But obviously I still want this Dina to like try to go after Mortimer. It's like, it's a whole thing. There's a lot of like crossing over lines. Just don't think about it. These are like separate situations. They just so happen to be like pictured in world at the end together, but like I feel like Camilla and then this version of Dina and Nina are not the same. They are not sisters technically. They don't exist in the same timeline. They're just like what ifs, you know? Because it would get really messy really quickly, actually. But I still think this Dina would be like the gold digger that like is trying to get Mortimer's attention, and it's working. So obviously the goths have like a standard to maintain. So of course Dina has to sort of dress that part to play that role, you know? And so of course she's like fancier, and she tries to dress fancier and act fancier than I guess Nina, because Nina's just more like chill and like romancing everybody. And technically Nina is like in love with Don Lothario, but obviously that can't happen here because that's weird. So she'd have to find somebody else to like obsess over. But I feel like she'd be obsessed over one person, but like dating other people to try to like fill the void of the lack of that one person. I feel like maybe J. Huntington III, like I don't know, something about him gives player 2. So I feel like maybe that's her. This alternate universe's version of Don Lothario. And I think that's actually really funny. But yeah, I actually really like the new version of Nina. I like Dina too, but I think Nina really spoke to me. And I tried to keep her very classy. Like I feel like when she thinks classy, this is like what she goes for. This is sort of like how she dresses. Like she tries to keep her formal and party wear very dressy because the goths, you know. I don't feel like she has like an off day, like an off outfit where she can just be like casual and like everything has to be dressy and perfect, because she's really trying to live that life, like almost like a Stepford wife, but like not. It's like this is like her version of like what an ideal fancy housewife would look and dress like and act like. But I feel like it's not really her, but it's like she wants to play that role, so she's gonna act how she has to act to get there, you know? Essentially like a fake it till you make it type of thing. And so of course I made her sort of a mixture of Don and Katrina, and of course I wanted to add that like non-committal in there. which is why I said fake it till you make it, because like truly she would never get married. But for the money, I feel like she would in fact make an exception. And then Nina, I really, really like this Nina actually. She's very pretty and she looks a lot like Dawn actually. And I gave her dimples. I don't know why I did, but like I really liked that. I gave her a bit more like character. And I also gave her a little like mole because Katrina has a mole there, I think. I'm pretty sure. Thought that was cute too. And I almost gave her black hair actually, since technically these are like the alternate versions of them, but like I wanted to keep the iconic like hair colors, but both of them still have black eyebrows because obviously they have black hair naturally. They just dye their hair the colors that they have them. And I wanted Nina to be more alternative in more like Dawn style. Basically I made Dina very Katrina and I made Nina very Dawn, and I think that's why I really like her. I definitely like Dawn more than I like Katrina, so I'm a little biased. But I love these like lace tops from Aladdin the Summer. I'm pretty sure there's like a set. But I settled for this like leather jacket with like a bralette, I guess, or just like a bra. I really don't know. I think it's just like a bra because there's no like lace or anything. I actually don't know the difference between a bra and a bralette, like what makes that the other thing, you know. But I really liked this outfit. I thought it was fun. I feel like she owns like a motorcycle or something, because low-key Don Lothario from Sims 2 kind of gives he owns a motorcycle too. So those are kind of the vibes. And I think I really succeeded at that actually. And there's something about like the red color in her skin tone and like the eyebrows that like all work out really well together. I really don't know what it is, but it kind of like makes it pop a little. And obviously because Nina's not trying to be a gold digger to Murmur Goth, I don't think she cares like how she dresses. Like she just dresses how she wants to dress, and she doesn't have to abide by any like arbitrary rules or anything to live her life basically. So like she's just able to be really like chill and genuinely like herself, you know. And so she has a bit more like flashy makeup and stuff, and like certain outfits are more fun and not necessarily like practical. Like a lot of things are just because she likes like obviously I'm assuming she's rich. Like I feel like Katrina is rich in some way, and so I don't think either of them are really doing like any kind of labor, like so she can actually just dress literally how she wants because she's like not doing any movement that she doesn't want to be doing, you know. Like a bra with a leather jacket is not functional for really anybody that has to live a real life, because like that is just not functional. But like she just chills. Like I feel like maybe, I don't know, maybe she's like an influencer of some kind, because she has like a really fun style and she's like super pretty. So like I feel like she does some kind of like social media job too, so that's like adding to their wealth anyway, and it allows her to wear like whatever outfit she wants to wear without caring about it. And then I wanted to bring in the jealous from Katrina because she is jealous. And then these screenshots, I took them in Oasis Springs, obviously, and they all look so good. Like, I think they're really, really fun. And let me know what you guys think about them. Let me know if you guys want to see more what if scenarios, because I will totally be down to do them. And I'll see you in the next video.